Hello again, welcome back to Print Island and to me, Richard Askam, here in the Lighthouse, the tallest building on the island and the one that gives us the best view of the world from here. And I'm very fortunate to be joined today all the way from Washington, D.C. By Dmitry Sevostyanov. Good afternoon, Dmitry.
Thank you for having me.
That's absolute pleasure. And we were just saying before we came on, it doesn't seem to matter where you are in the world this summer. Everywhere is just really hot.
Yeah, it's very hot in Washington, D.C. this summer.
And hopefully the air conditioning is working for you there, and we can stay cool for the next 20 minutes or so and have a nice, relaxed, sweat-free conversation. That would be good. So listen, Dmitry, right. Give us a sort of 30-second flyby of who you are, what you do, why you do it. Give us your elevator pitch.
My name is Dmitry Sevostyanov. I'm the CEO of Customers Canvas. Customers Canvas is a software platform for building product customization and personalization solutions, mostly with focus on print and direct mail. Our API-first infrastructure provides embedded design and template personalization, variable data workflows, pre-flight capabilities, and scalable generation of production print-ready files. The platform is mostly used by printing companies, MarTech providers, and software vendors that want to add this kind of capabilities to their own software applications without building the underlying graphics and rendering technology from scratch. So that's what we do.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you do it very well. So thank you for taking the time to join us today on Print Island. And tell me, everybody always says direct mail is dead. I know that's not true. You know that's not true. But tell us what's changed and why personalization really is the catalyst that's bringing it back to life.
I think the interesting thing is that the essence of direct mail has changed. So direct mail stopped being a mass marketing medium. So in the past, you could create one piece, you print it out in large quantity, and you send it to everyone. It worked quite well for when printing and postage were quite inexpensive, and you could tolerate low response rates. But right now, it's quite difficult to justify this mode. Companies accumulated a lot of data. So everybody has a CRM or ERP system. Companies get behavioral data on the websites or purchase history. All this data can be used in direct mail campaigns. So you can basically use this data to change each copy that you send out, and you will get a higher response rate. You can send out 100,000 identical postcards or 10,000 highly personalized pieces, and you will get better results. And you can even change the text in the messaging on those postcards, or change the images, or change a complete product that you are trying to sell to a specific recipient. The other thing to mention here is digital fatigue. So everybody is getting a lot of emails in their inboxes, and we see digital advertisement everywhere. And physical mail feels somewhat unusual, and it usually gets more attention. So I think that's why direct mail gets more and more popular these days. And the other important thing here is a personalization technology. If you want to send out personalized postcards, for example, you still have to have a technology which allows you to take a template, extract data from your internal system, and merge this data with a template. So again, I don't think traditional direct mail is getting a comeback these days. I think the essence of direct mail changed, and it's becoming a data-driven marketing channel that happens to use print. This is how I see it.
Yeah, and it's ironic, isn't it, that direct mail is now being noticed because of its rarity rather than its ubiquity, which, of course, 20 years ago when you started in the industry, you would have seen a very, very different provision given by print service providers. it's different now to what it was then, 20 years. There's been a huge change, hasn't there?
Yeah, totally agree.
So tell me, the last sort of wave, if you like, if we can call it that, was the web to print wave. That a lot of people rode that, and it's still, of course, continuing. It's probably now known more as print on demand. And the consumer's tastes have changed, and our expectation of speed of delivery has changed completely. So using an API first architecture clearly is the next inflection point for this changing market. Why does it matter so much to PSPs?
Well, I think first of all, we should give a credit to traditional web to print. Web to print brought print online. So basically, it gave the printer a complete predefined system. Usually, it comes with online storefronts, online editors, template editing, product catalogs, and sometimes variable data capabilities. It still works for many cases, but sometimes customers increasingly don't want to live inside somebody else's system. And for example, printer may have a customer using a Shopify storefront, or maybe some procurement system, or a marketing portal, or ERP. And they already have some sort of a workflow in their systems, and they want to add a personalization capabilities to that existing workflow. This is where API infrastructure becomes important. So instead of bringing end users to external system, you just embed personalization capabilities into existing workflow that users already have and know. And I think in that case, a print service provider becomes a part of the client's infrastructure, and it deepens relationship between the printer and their clients.
And I guess that's sort of the flexibility that you're talking about there. The user availability probably matters more than completeness to a certain extent, because it gives not only the PSP flexibility but also the customer flexibility as well. And that's a pretty sound philosophy to have these days, isn't it?
Yeah, I totally agree. But I think there is no such thing as a standard print workflow. So, for example, we can take two companies with the same product, and they may have very different requirements. One of them sells through Shopify, and another one uses a custom e-commerce system. One of them can use a simple personalization experience, and another one could have a complex business rules, approvals, variable data, and even integration with MIS. As a developer, you can build a product with thousands of features, but you can still discover a customer who needs something very special that you never anticipated before. So at Customers Canvas, we are focused on flexibility. So we have strong capabilities out of the box in our software, but they can be combined, extended, and integrated to support a new workflow. And it enables our customers to build differentiated workflows, and is a great competitive advantage for them.
And we talk a lot, Dmitry, on Print Island about the real meaning of ROI, which is no longer return on investment, but it's risk of inaction. And I guess what do you think would happen for PSPs if they don't move with the times, and with this sort of print automation in the next 2 to 3 years? What do you predict?
Well, printer without automation won't go out of the business in 3 years, in my opinion. So print is kind of diverse, and manual workflows can still work, but the economic will be much tighter. I think every manual touch limits scalability. So if you're a printer and you need to manually reply to email for every order, or manually check artwork, or manually prepare proofs, so it will drive your margins down. And meanwhile, your end users, your clients, they expect faster turnaround, online ordering, instant proofs, and easy reordering. These are all the features they already have on, for example, on Amazon, and they want to see them in other systems. So automated PSPs can process more business at lower cost, I think, and they can provide a better customer experience. Also, automation allows them to go after the business that wouldn't be economical otherwise. I think it could be thousands of small orders that you cannot process without automation. And the gap between automated PSPs and manual print service providers will be increasing. And as more buying moves into automated platforms, so we all know that print is going through commoditization these days. So PSPs without technology risk becoming just production backend for someone else who owns the technology and the customer base.
Yeah, no, I see that, and it'd be interesting to hear where you see Customers Canvas fitting into that broader sort of e-commerce stack, if you like. Over that next 3 to 5 years, what's your goal for Customers Canvas?
Well, I think boundary between print software, e-commerce, and marketing tech will be much less clear. So personalization used to live mainly in web to print. So now personalization is increasingly happening in other systems. So you can take, for example, e-commerce website where you need personalization in online storefront, and for a franchise that need to create personalized marketing materials for their locations. So all these applications, they need the same core capabilities. It would be templates, personalization, designs, online designing, proofing, rendering, variable data printing. So in Customers Canvas, we provide these features through APIs and embeddable components, while our clients, it could be e-commerce, printers, marketing companies, or software vendors, they provide the user experience, the front end for the application.
And do you think PSPs still underestimate the value to them of personalization?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit underestimated out there, because we underestimate how broad personalization has become, actually. So people often think about personalization as an online designer, where you can change the name, upload a photo, modify some text. But opportunity is much bigger, actually. So for example, you can take a franchise where each location needs to customize marketing materials with brand control. Or it could be a direct mail campaign where you need to personalize every piece that you send out. Or it could be e-commerce selling individually produced custom products. They solve a very similar problem. They turn data, templates, business rules, and customer input into unique product that can be produced automatically. And I think companies will get higher value for the software like this rather than just online editor.
And I said before at the top of the show, Dmitry, that we're sitting today in the top of the Lighthouse on the highest point of Print Island with the perfect view of the industry. What are you seeing from where you are in the market right now that maybe the trade publications and the analysts haven't picked up on yet? Are you seeing any new trends?
Well, I think I see a couple of trends in the industry right now. So trend number one is boundaries of the print industry are becoming much less clear. So we talk with companies that wouldn't describe as print service providers 10 years ago. It could be e-commerce businesses, MarTech technology, software vendors. They need some sort of a personalization of physical products somewhere in their workflow. So this was the first trend. The other trend is some printers invest in software and automation to become more technology oriented. And it will have a profound effect on competition, I think. Printers' competitors won't be a printer down the road. It will be a tech company who owns customer relationship and who have print behind the scenes. If the printer doesn't invest in technology, they will become production backend for someone else who owns the technology and the customer base.
And are there any customer segments that are surprising you? It's always nice to be surprised in business. Anybody that's surprising you most with how they're using customers' canvas or how they're approaching personalization?
Well, one segment is particularly interesting to me is the software companies, actually. So when we entered web-to-print space, we thought about printers as a core users for our technology. But now we see software companies with software products wanting to add print and product personalization capabilities into their workflows. They don't want to build the technology themselves. It's quite expensive and it's not their core expertise. So they want to embed third-party technology into their software. And direct mail is a good example. So MarTech, marketing companies, they already has audience, customer data, campaign management, and analytics. And they just want to add the physical mail as another channel for their marketing campaigns. And they use the software to do that.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And I always ask, Dmitry, as we come to the end of this interview, I always ask my guests when they come to the Lighthouse to give me a prediction. So I'm going to ask you, if you had to predict one major shift in the print industry in the next 12 months, what is your prediction? And I will come back in 12 months' time to check.
I think the big shift we're going to see is AI moving from content creation to workflows. So now most of the attention around AI is focused on generating things. It could be images, copy, or maybe some designs. In the future, we will reach a point where creating a good design becomes inexpensive and quite easy. But design is only a part of the problem. So you still need to know what product is being produced, what constraints are, how variable data is handled, and how it all gets manufactured. So we will start seeing AI connected more deeply to these workflows. So instead of asking AI to create a postcard for specific promotion, you'll be able to ask it to create a campaign for a specific user category, for example.
I think whenever new technology comes along, there's a long history, isn't there, of human beings using it to play first, before they recognize the real value and the real use of it. And I tend to agree that as we get a deeper understanding of what AI is capable of, that it can be put to work much better, more usefully in any business. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, listen, Dmitry, thank you so much for joining me on Print Island today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I wish you all the best with your continuing success at Customers Canvas. And thank you for being my guest today on the Lighthouse.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Have a good day.